Man, I love the music in this game. Like it's
You gotta share your screen. I can't
really
hear
good
it.
music. I forgot to share my screen.
The angry teacher from Key and Peele. Sir, you haven't shared your screen. Son of a... And he's just like tosses everything off of his desk.
Oh wow, they're
Hey,
really
there we
angry.
go.
Hi everybody,
Alright, I'm gonna put...
welcome back to Phoenix Wright. Where are the Peopleorians? I'm Lou Jack.
I'm Taylor, and we're playing Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. And
Yeah.
although I was joking with Lujack, I'm like, what if we did just the wrong intro, but like did it really sincere? Like, hey everyone, welcome to part 2 of our Wizards of Waverly Place retrospective.
Oh man.
I know we had an interim time where we did episode 1, and then we did an entire 3-hour video on Jimmy Neutron, but we're back, and
So Taylor
no shade, by the way. I really appreciate those videos.
Oh yeah, they're good videos. Taylor like sent me, I think it was like 2-part videos of like, what was it? Victorious or iCarly or one of those.
Oh,
which led me down
the legendary one.
Which led me
reviews.
Yeah, which led me down just kind of a rabbit hole of Quentin review stuff, and then I found like what was it? I can never remember. Kian something. He's another guy who did like the same kind of thing, but with like Wizards of Waverly Place, and I sent that to Taylor, and he's been chewing through that. They're very long videos.
And I had my main takeaway from Wizards of Waverly Place is that, like, my first joke was that, oh, someone who watched episodes of Wizards of Waverly Place probably saw that, grew up, was on, and now is in the writing room when they're making like new Marvel movies, which is why Doctor Strange is basically just a Wizard of Waverly Place, where like. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, I feel like this guy should be wrong for like better reasons.
Right.
He shouldn't be like, oh no, I sneezed while casting a spell and now reality's collapsing. I'm like, no, that's something that happens to a Waverly wizard. But then I had a realization where it's like, hey, wait a minute. It would be funny if it's someone who saw the episode as a kid and grew up, but this is Disney we're talking about. It could literally be the same guy who wrote the episode in the first place.
Look,
it could be the same guy 20 years later. He's like, you know, it'd be a great episode.
Look, man,
it'd be a good movie plot.
Look, man, I'm gonna defend Stephen Strange on this one because as an autistic ADHD person, if I were to become a sorcerer, there's no way I would even try to cast spells like that if another person was in the room, especially if it was a fucking teenager who's like having panic attacks and dealing with his world-ending shit going on, because he's going to panic and come barge into the room while I'm trying to make this cast this thing. And look, man, I've got ADHD. I can't fucking focus on 2 things. Don't try to talk to me if I'm casting a spell. I'm not going to listen to you. And if I try to listen to you, I'm going to do a Doctor Strange. So I'm going to defend Doctor Strange on this one and say he says some kind of like weird thing that makes it difficult for him to do that.
See, my joke is that the Doctor Strange from No Way Home and Multiverse of Madness, he's not a surgeon. He used to be a general practitioner, like one of those really bad doctors that like you get to their meeting and they're like almost half an hour late, and you hop in and they're like, and you're like, hey, I feel hungry all the time. They're like, oh, being hungry all the time is healthy. Bye. It's like, oh, you don't want to like. You don't want to run any tests, ask more questions. Like, I could have a stomach worm. Anything could happen.
Like, something could be going on, man.
Yeah, I got like a list of like 12 things I need you to check out. I slimmed it down to 1, and then you slimmed it down to 0. And that's how it... And that's my joke, is that like if Doctor Strange was also a general practitioner, where it's like a regular medical doctor, because that's how it felt, where Spider-Man's like, hey, can you check out this rash? He's like, no, I can't. I can't do any of this. Didn't you go to like school specifically to do this? Yes, I don't have time for you. You literally have a stone that controls time.
I mean, not at this point. That shit's gone.
Sorry, it just reminded me that this really messed with my brain. That we know that the time stone can undisintegrate Infinity Stones. So instead of heisting all the Infinity Stones, you could have cut a lot of time, and therefore, I mean, it is a 3-hour film. Well, actually, no, it's 2 3-hour films, but you could have. You could bring back all the Infinity Stones in Endgame by just heisting the Time Stone and then going to Thanos' little farmhouse and just rewinding time until you find it.
Right. Okay, what the fuck are we doing here? Taking out the gate between the entrance and the studios, October 15th, 2 p.m. Photo 2. What's old big saying? It was 1 o'clock when I got to the guard station. I was at the main gate from then until 5. No, the murder happened at 2:30 p.m.
Can you check the?
This says 2
So we know
o'clock.
that picture was taken a half hour before.
Yeah.
Archie. Guide map. Show her the lawyer thing. Yes, I know you're a lawyer.
Yes, I know you're a lawyer.
checking. Just using all your options. Hold on, what's this rubber ball do? Deep cut. I think that was. I'm trying to remember what game it was. I think it was like Silent Hill 1. In like the early days of YouTube, I watched this guy. I think I told this story before, but this guy was playing Silent Hill 1, and he was doing one of the like side puzzles that like you don't have to do, but he was trying to figure it out, and he's like, what the heck do I do with this rubber ball? But like, because of how early in the game you pick it up, you're just carrying it for a while. And you eventually use it like a zillion like hours later.
Wait, did we read this before? I was under the impression that we
No,
read
it's
all
white
this
text.
before. No?
You
Ah!
get her kicked somewhere else.
Ah, fuck. I need to reload because I skipped through all that dialogue. Because I thought we'd read it all before. Did we read her testimony already?
Well, usually I'll read the testimony once, and then I'll always read.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
white
but
text.
like, has this been read already? Has it been read when it's green?
I'll go ahead and read it. Sorry for snacking.
I mean, I was legitimately asking because the Maya scene seemed new, and I didn't know if that was new or not, and that's why I didn't know if we'd already gone through this already.
Excuse me. Anyway, it was 1 o'clock when I got to the guard station. I was at the main gate from then until 5. Now, the murder happened at 2:30 p.m., right? Interesting to me because a certain man walked by at 2 p.m. It was Powers, that man right there, and he was heading toward the studio. Nick? Doesn't she seem like she's enjoying this a little too much?
Windbags love gossiping about other people's misfortunes.
Her name should have been Windbig. Why don't you get her kicked somewhere else? Like Route 66.
Yeah, man. Let's see, on the day of the murder, station at 1.
I don't think we have
Poor
anything.
old Hammer and the rest have been doing errands this morning. I had errands to run that morning. Anyway, it was 1 when I got to the guard station. It's at the main gate from then until 5. Now the murder happened at 2:30. Interesting to me because... what can we press on?
Can you look at the map again?
Map.
There's one thing that's throwing me off. Is that the one thing that throws me off is the geometry. Excuse me. Hey, try not to share any, social security numbers or anything. I'm streaming right now.
Taylor, is Dog Rat Bombastus Longbeard a good name for a dwarf?
No.
Really? What about a gnome?
Just no.
No, a gnome.
A no.
Dog Rat Bombastus Longbeard.
Dog Rat sounds like just the worst nickname for a gnome.
What about
Maybe Bombastus the Dog Rat.
What about Bombastus Nutley Longbeard Dog Rat the Golden?
That works.
Okay.
No, okay, so legit. So the main
Yeah.
gate is at the top there.
Right.
And okay. The bit that's been throwing me off is that I figured, oh, if they have like a security camera that takes pictures when people go by, then shouldn't they have one of everyone who showed up? And by everyone, I mean like 3 people, because this place is kind of barren.
Right.
It has a security guard. It has 1 assistant. It has the 2 guys. I don't even think they have like a key grip. They don't even have anyone on cameras. Anyone. But if you look at the, well, I mean, for those watching this on YouTube, you can go back and pause it. When they're training in the employee area, it wouldn't have taken a picture until one of them went to the studio, or one of the Studio 1 or Studio 2.
Right. I'm doing a run through. There's some.
And I remember, I vaguely remember something about how the studio that's been like condemned was. I remember suspecting this early on, where it's like there's 2 studios, but one is where the murder supposedly took place, and one is like derelict. And I'm like, don't tell me no one's using that other one. We definitely got to check that out.
What kind of errands?
Are you done with those errands? Oh, well, you know, hygiene. I did a cleanse, a detox.
Answer the question!
Whenever you're out of work for a while, just say you're the guy who's like, just say that you're on a cleanse, because no one wants to ask you what the heck you mean by on a cleanse.
Yeah, what?
What, you were eating nothing but fruit, and then you got hungry and went home and ate normal food?
As you do. Whoa, look at his wavy sword. That's really cool.
Yeah. Hey.
Your line.
Actually, I was watching for Hammer and Powers, observing, you know, doing my my impression of Edward Monk's The Scream.
Hammer and Nail. You know the Hammer and Nail level from It Takes Two? Great game. Great game. Go play it.
Oh. Yeah, I feel like Hammer and Nail is totally like the chapter name of like a Crisis style like first-person shooter that has.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Observing? Were you supposed to be at the guard station?
I told you I locked the gate, didn't I? I did my job. I was so ready to read the fast text.
Right?
Bobby,
I'm not sure your boss would see it that way.
I have a lot of your audio. Also, let me check the audio. You switched it, right?
Oh, yeah, I switched it. Oh, yeah, we should, that's a thing we should probably make sure is good.
Uh-huh. And then let me turn this down. Checkity check. And that looks like it's working. So mute that and then unmute this. And make sure that you are unmuted. There. Edward Monk's The Scream?
What about the screen?
Oh, just there's some. You know how there's like, I love the comedy of like a character who's named like they have their first name and then their surname is just like the game they're in. Like, oh, it's Samus Metroid. It's Sans Undertale. Well, I have the same like giggle reaction when someone is like has the artist and the art piece and like the date or something on it. So it's like, oh, are you doing your impression of Edward Monk's The Scream?
Edward Monk's The Scream.
1861, I don't know.
As you do. Your line.
Anyway. I always watch Hammer's run-throughs, always. And who's watching the gate?
Yeah.
Never missed one in all my years. That's not a good sign.
That's creepy, dude.
Who's watching the fence? You need to watch the gate, though.
Yeah, man.
You have a live feed. Oh, I want to see a Steel Samurai run through too.
You could quit being a. Why do I keep yawning? You could quit being a spirit medium and take up guard duty.
Not a bad idea.
Anyway.
I really thought she was gonna do that like auto scroll like fast text thing.
Yeah,
I was
I was
I
waiting
was
for
so
it.
hyped. I was like, oh, here we go.
I was waiting for it. Let's press
I
her on
love,
this.
I love how the first time that happened, you're like, I'm not hitting the button. It's just going.
I'm not doing anything. I'm not touching anything. I don't know why this is happening.
You can tell the danger is growing because the text keeps on scrolling and it shows no sign of slowing.
Thank you, Willy Wonka.
You know what this place needs? Instead of a lava pit, needs a spooky tunnel.
Spooky tunnel.
You're like,
Spooky tunnel with a river of chocolate that I can just terrify children in. How did you know that?
oh, I have my ways. That overdressed young detective told me. Set up some donuts and he talked and talked. If you ask me, that detective isn't cut out for his job.
Edgeworth does not care. Poor Detective Gumshoe getting ratted out by a security guard. Hang on. Can I press her on the murder? I mean, I pressed her on the murder already, but like.
If you hear talking in the background, that's Bobby because we've accidentally correlated our schedules. I should probably move upstairs so we don't interrupt each other.
Okay. 2:30.
See my impression of Edward Monk's The Scream? Sure.
Ah!
Like just overdriven mic. Just blasted out.
Hold
Like
it.
an entire genre of comedy that's just the overdrive filter.
Yeah. So you saw
Hello,
Mr.
Mr.
Powers.
What are you doing in here?
Oh, that's your line. I'm waiting for you.
That's right. That's what I said. You got wax in your ears, Sonny. This is your chance.
Yeah, time to pull out
Hit it with the wombo combo.
secret
That
weapon.
ain't Falco.
What about Taco?
Hit it with the wombo combo. That ain't Falco.
That ain't Falco.
It's a reference to like a there was like a Smash Bros tournament, and everyone was getting really excited, and the guys on the mic were like they did like a combo thing, and they're like, "Oh, wombo combo, happy feet," and I guess like someone like misjudged how the combo would work, and they're like, "Oh, that ain't Falco," because I think it was a Fox and Falco like team. Yeah, Mr. Timmons.
Right.
Hey,
Makes sense.
I'd like to say hello, Mr. Timmons.
You, Mr. Tams.
He's not a particularly talkative dog.
He's a
Maybe
good
we'll
dog.
get
Though.
lucky and he'll yawn.
You're lying.
I'll say it again, it was him.
It was Powers, that man right there. Okay, yes, but I should have a secret weapon for this, and it should be.
Let's see.
He said something about a secret weapon. Is this the secret weapon? I don't
Wait,
know.
wait.
The scare was found stuck in the victim's
Because
chest.
like I remember when we did this, like if this was completely new,
Right.
then I'd be applying my brain differently. But because we've done this before, but like 5 years ago, whatever, I'm like, hold on, I remember this vaguely. I remember that the pants thing doesn't work out, and we ended up like burning our respectability tokens in the top right there.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, we did.
we kept going, what about the pants? And they're like, no, there's nothing wrong with this photo. It's like, the pants are clearly too long. That's someone in a different costume.
It's gotta be
Someone
a
use
different
that costume as a disguise.
I'm gonna hit her with this, see what happens.
Yeah, we may as well.
Hold it!
Because even if we're right, then it works, and if we're wrong, then the audience gets to know that it does look super weird.
Yeah. Let me get this straight, old big. Ms. Olbig. You've been saying since yesterday that you saw Mr. Powers, correct? Oh, because he's in a costume, so she didn't actually see anyone. But you're talking about the man in this photo, aren't you?
Just a moment, Mr. Wright. Let me see that photo. Look at this photograph.
Yeah, look at how long the pants are. They are way too long.
What is this exactly?
Guy with
Editor,
pants that do not fit.
add in some little like ghost looking pants in the background. Just be like, it's the Fresno Nightcrawlers. What are they doing here?
None other than the Steel Samurai, defender of Neo Tokyo. Miss Soldbig. Is this the Mr. Powers that you saw?
Of course. Didn't your mama teach you any sense, sonny? I don't know where my accent's gone. Anyone can plainly see that's Powers, right?
Your old smoker's accent.
Look at the pants, though. The pants.
The pants way too long. They don't fit.
If the pants are way too long, you must be gone.
If the pants don't fit, you must have quit.
No, they can't. Well, I mean, I wonder.
True, Mr. Powers does play the role of the Steel Samurai, but how fucking stupid would it have been to dress up in his own character's costume to do this? Like, no sensible, like, premeditated murder would do that.
If we didn't have the picture showcasing that the guy is like 1.5 feet too short, then I would at least assume that it wasn't a bad misdirect. It was a crime of passion situation.
Yeah.
But there doesn't seem to, as far as like Will is confirmed, they didn't seem to have any particular beef.
They don't.
No, like it just doesn't add up.
They're
I
just
think
a
it could have
super...
straight up been an accident, but no one wants to admit what happened.
He's just a super nice guy that got typecast because of his looks, and he's tired of playing the bad guy all the time. He wants people to like him.
As opposed to Giancarlo Esposito, who I have a feeling that he gets a call from his agent and he's like, hey, we got a role for you. I'll pay like $50 million. He's like, oh, what is it? Well, you'll be the starring role. And he's like, hold on. I'm not playing the antagonist? Get out of here. You know I don't do that.
No, man, I do bad guys only. Which like...
I can respect if that's his decision at the end of the day. Like,
yeah,
if
it's
that's
his decision,
deliberately
then
what he
I
wants
am
to do,
happy
yes.
for him.
If it's something that like people want him to do and that he wants to do other things, then, yeah, let him branch out.
Every time he pops up and so, and keep in mind, I've only really seen Giancarlo Esposito in like 3 things because I'm very picky about like what I watch on TV. But like Breaking Bad, fucking what was the other one? There was
6?
But the boys. Which one did you say?
Far Cry 6.
Far Cry 6. I haven't played Far Cry 6.
My favorite.
Dude, he was Moff Gideon. He was Moff Gideon in Mandalorian.
Yeah, my brain kind of broke. But the thing that gets me, the thing that I've always wanted to do is like, when meeting a celebrity, introduce yourself by whatever the the thing that they would least recognize. You know, like you meet like Penn and Teller, and you're like, oh man, I've always wanted to ask, what was it like working at the sound studio for Borderlands 3? You know, like the deepest of deep cuts. I would love to meet. I'm pretty sure this was Despacito.
I'm thinking of Akira Toriyama now at that situation. Wait, dude. I'm thinking, dude. Can I say something? I'm thinking of Akira Toriyama and like that situation, but like with Rayleigh. Because, like, he's the guy that created DBZ, but imagine if instead of meeting him and asking about Dragon Ball, you were like, hey, so what was it like working on a Raleigh?
Oh, it's like BoJack Horseman when they're like, we need to get a celebrity out of a celebrity that no one's going to expect, and they find, like, J.D. Salinger, writer of Catcher in the Rye, and he's like, I wrote other books, you know?
What were you saying, though?
No, my joke was... wasn't Giancarlo Esposito, he played the dentist in the live-action episode updates of Payday 2. And that's such a deep cut.
What?
But what's funny is that, but what's fascinating to me is, one, that even exists, and two, that it had, like, real, like, named actors in it, and that he was there. and that he was there as like classic Giancarlo. That's so funny to me. Like,
It's awesome.
oh man,
Man, I need to play
I'm
Payday 2.
still not over it.
I haven't. What is Payday 1 like a thing people play? Like, are they
I
a
don't
series of
know.
games, or is it like a TF Team Fortress situation where like
It is
you
a
only really
team
need the
shooter
second
style
one?
game.
Sounds.
It's a team shooter style game, and every once in a while, maybe couple years, I relearn about the lore.
Sounds neat.
Yeah, that's my. Speaking of that, my yearly ritual every October, I log in, I go on to YouTube and check out what the new lore is for Dead by Daylight.
Oh yeah, Dead by Daylight. That's a game
They
I
release
have.
like 2 or 3 things like a year, so I just check it out every October. I'm like, it's spooky month. I'm gonna go see what they've updated.
What's going on this time? But that doesn't mean Mr. Powers is the Steel Samurai.
I know that. I wasn't born yesterday.
Really? Because you've been pretty clear about calling him Jack or Will this whole time, and like very convinced that it couldn't be anyone else.
No one in this court is accusing you of that, Miss Witness.
Miss Witness. He's having trouble calling her Old Big, apparently. Yeah.
I wonder what the Japanese like version of the name is.
I don't know.
However, you do not have proof that the person in this photo is Mr. Will Powers, do you? Nosy old man. We're in a court!
Yeah, seriously, what the fuck?
We are literally in a court.
Oh, she's so annoying. She is one of the most annoying characters, I think.
I forgot that her first name was Wendy. It's Wendy Oldbeck.
Oh, that's right. I forgot she had a What? You missed your cue.
I missed that. That was really fast.
Yeah.
What?
What? What? Huh?
No.
Even Edgeworth is surprised.
The prosecution would like to ask the witness. Please make known all the information in your possession ahead of time.
I like that all of the characters are canonically uncomfortable with her name. Like, it was probably less weird when she... It was probably less weird when she was, like, 25 or whatever. And that was just her name, but now it's, like, weird.
Well, it's kind of like cars, like Oldsmobile cars, where they were stopped... Nah. Hold on. They were named after, like, a person, so they were always called Oldsmobiles, but they stopped making them in 2004, so there are no new Oldsmobiles.
That is
all
weird.
of them really are Oldsmobiles.
Ah, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, and I'm looking up her name in the Japanese is Oba with a bar over the O, which means grandma, like Obatarian or Oba-san.
Huh. Your line.
How was I supposed to know? And everyone would be so nosy. You should be ashamed, all of you.
What? You're on trial.
You're a witness.
She is one of my least favorite characters in this game, I think.
Did you used to work for like a presidential candidate?
Seriously.
How do I know that people would ask questions in court?
Cut to cut to a clip of I don't know. I thought I had something.
Put up like a really low res JPEG of like whoever's like Trump's lawyer is.
Yeah. Like he definitely
really
paid his taxes. No, he didn't. No, the fuck he didn't.
And your lawyer needs a lawyer because they keep getting caught. Anyway, I showed that photo to the young detective. Right. He told me, this isn't any good as evidence, pal. It didn't even give it a second look.
Wow,
I wish
old.
the judge was like, "May I remind the witness that these trials are a maximum of 3 days long, and that you've wasted all of our time."
Seriously?
Ah!
Judge like
Me lifting a
throws.
table back here.
Yeah,
Ah!
Judge like picks up his like gavel table thing and just like throws it.
No, it's just him straining as he's like lifting, as he's like pulling on the podium. He's like, "Oh, why?"
He gets like Master Roshi's weird buff transformation. uh,
Uh,
hey, David, Naughton Stevenson is here. Technically, the judicial system in Phoenix, Wright, is a mix of Japanese/America, says
yeah,
Stevenson.
it's the San
Yeah, it's the San
Francisco.
Francisco. San Francisco? San Fran Tokyo? Is it San Fran Tokyo or San Francisco?
I think it's San Francisco, but I'll look that up for everybody's sake.
Yeah. Wow, old Windbag has left even Edgeworth speechless. She's good!
Yes, this is San Francisco.
Which, if San
Let's hear about your
Francisco
proof then.
exists in Big Hero 6, then, like, what does the rest of America and Japan look like? Are they, like... Did they fuse?
There was a note here that someone had, like someone who made it, who designed it. My guess is all the way back in the comics. Someone had some. How was it? Don wanted to figure out how a logical explanation of how a mashup city like this could exist. I came with the idea that after the 1906 earthquake in San Francisco, Japanese immigrants rebuilt the place using techniques that allow movement and flexibility in a seismic event. Interesting.
Hmm.
I thought it would be like circa like between World War One and Two, but nah, 1906. Which that was a real thing. It was a big earthquake. I That's a really neat concept that it's like, oh yeah, we just came in and rebuilt it, no problem.
As you do. Your line.
Let's hear about your proof then. Oh, hello, Mr. Tim.
Witness testimony. The man in the photo. Photo.
I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. That morning, during the run through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. Broke one of the props. It was a big mess. Oh, right. Remember the if you go to the court record,
Court record.
apparently he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Don't like click it, but go over to the spear.
Stuck in the chest of the victim.
It was mentioned earlier that the spear was like taped.
It was what?
That the spearhead was like taped on or something.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if that'll be important.
Apparently he sprained his ankle pretty bad. And look at that picture. He's dragging his leg. Clear as day. Well, because both of his ankles, his feet have disappeared, and he's dragging his pants along
His
the ground.
pants are just getting dragged on the ground because they go past his legs and they're on the ground, getting torn.
The costume
constantly.
designer got the aspect ratio on the pants wrong, and they made them too long instead of extra wide. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy?
No!
So we know. So that does mean that whoever. Oh, okay. Bye, Mr. Chimps. That does mean that who was in that suit was imitating him, which narrows down who could have imitated him, which is pretty neat.
Right. Your line.
So he had sprained his ankle. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness.
She's got to be hiding something. I'll press her until she squeals! Man in the photo. I've never seen anything about me, man, dude. Let's see. What have we got to work with here? That morning, during the run-through of the action scene, was a Paris trip and fall. He broke one of his props and was a big... Wait a minute. Yeah, he would have broken the spear. For us. He broke a prop? Ah, what? What the fuck? Why did that happen?
Editor, add in the sound of like a prop plane starting up. Sure did. His own samurai spear.
His samurai spear. The
You ever
murder
fall
weapon?
over and you ever fall over and snap the samurai spear? That it was funnier in my head. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go now. Goodbye. I'm gonna go now.
No! Taylor! Taylor, come back! Taylor! Taylor, wait, I can't do this without you.
Aaron! I can't do this without you!
Aaron! You gotta wake up and ask yourself, what am I willing to put up with today? Not fucking this! That's old Game Grumps. That's like JonTron era Game Grumps before he got I think he got kind of weird. I stopped watching his stuff.
Well, I remember hearing the update, like secondhand, where someone's like, where they were just like, "Hey, so update. You know how JonTron's been extra, let's say, controversial lately? Well, apparently Aaron just like removed all of the Game Grumps videos with JonTron."
Really?
Yeah, and that was like back in like 2020 or earlier.
Oh,
and so I had that on my list of like life advice. Live your life in a way that doesn't get your co-host to remove all of your content because he'd rather just not have you on the channel than making more views. Like it's more important that you are no longer in the public eye.
Man, that's
like, yeah, I can respect that.
That's depressing because like they had good shit going. Man, why do you have to get weird?
I think the thing that really gets me is that like JonTron is funky in that like his old episodes still have his like very old like episodes have a charm to them, and it's like they scaled directly with how much budget he actually had for a show. So when it was like him in one room and like props he made himself, it was like really funny. But as soon as like he actually got a budget, it was like it's like he forgot how to write the actual jokes.
I didn't really watch a lot of his stuff past like the old classic era stuff. But
well, if I would, yeah. Well, basically, a while back, I was like, "Wait, what did he do? What does he do in like 2020 or whatever?" And I was like, "Oh, the budget's up, but like, he doesn't feel as like he he didn't feel like as like sort of weird and eclectic, and so he didn't have that same charm, in my opinion."
Yeah, that makes sense. Your line.
Luckily, I was there with my duct tape to fix it. 'Cause there's only like 2 people on staff, not including actors, so I guess it's good you also do repairs.
Seriously? This strikes me as a significant detail. I'd better write this on the court record. The
An
murder
important
weapon.
detail is a typewriter that says raccoon on it.
Raccoon.
Typewriter that says raccoon on it. Everyone who's like played early Resident Evil games are like, oh yeah, that makes sense, but there's something funny about the way he pronounces it. He's like,
Raccoon. What is this one? I'm gonna press on this one. Are you absolutely sure? Let's take a look at that picture again. So he was walking strangely because he was injured?
It looks like he was dragging his foot. If he had a foot, it looks like he's just walking around with no feet and he's just got pant legs.
Yeah, looks like his feet are just non-existent, honestly.
Hey, and you didn't trust me. Whippersnapper.
Stop calling me that. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy? No. You can see he's dragging his leg. Apparently he sprained his ankle. He broke one of the props. That's not Powers. Trip and fall. I'm running during the run through the action. Press on that one. Who was present at the run-through?
Well, let's see. There was Powers, he's a Steel Samurai. Poor old Hammer, the evil magistrates. And me. And what exactly were you doing? Observing, just observing.
What about the assistant?
He was off moving backdrops around and such.
So she didn't see the run-through then. Suppose trip and fall.
Excuse me.
Never say anything I don't mean. That morning during the run-through action scene, press something. Trip and fall. Up. Okay, don't know how that happened again.
Yes, and to think he's supposed to be the Steel Samurai. What a laugh. And that was me in the background doing my impression of Edward Monk's The Scream.
Everyone can see her, and she went and fixed his spear. Like, are people okay with her just showing up and being weird? Like...
You know, yeah, okay, like, consider how many people are actually on staff, and then ask yourself that again.
Yeah,
Does anyone find this weird? And it's like the only people who were available to comment were the people who have to be in that scene to do their job.
Yeah.
There's no spare staff to be like, hey, wait, aren't you supposed to be at the gate?
Oh man, it's so weird. Did you read that?
So, Power sprained his ankle. Have to make it better for him, of course. To help make it better, I gave it some green herb. It's a healing item.
I gave him some of that fuck. I can never remember what it's called. White
Health drink?
No, it's white something decoction, the fucking healing potion from Witcher.
Oh. The decanter of feeling less badly.
Yeah.
Superior draft of cleansing boo-boos.
Alright.
Let's just skip over that part. Yeah,
I guessed it and made it better.
let's just skip over that part, shall we?
Where was the assistant then?
Oh, cleaning up backdrops. Cleaning up backdrops, I think. Didn't know about Powers' ankle. Oh, she didn't know about Powers' ankle. Ah, that means it could have been her.
Oh, could have been.
Could not have been the assistant.
Taylor.
You may continue your testimony.
You broke a prop. Apparently sprained his ankle. Oh! Edgeworth is fed
I
up.
think we've heard enough. Haven't we, Your Honor? There is one thing that bothers me. Is it the pants?
Is it the pants?
Yeah!
The pants are clearly the wrong size.
They're very clearly the
It
wrong
is.
size. This guy's like a whole inch shorter than Powers.
And before you go saying, oh, well, maybe they didn't have like pants in the right like production or whatever. Like I was in a small scale production recently, and like you, like hemming up pants is like one of the simpler things to do. Like they could fix that, so there's no reason that those pants would be the wrong size unless they were on an imposter.
Exactly.
At least that's my experience.
Oh wait, did you read that last line? The which is?
Which is, where is this steel samurai costume now? That is a good question.
Ooh.
Actually, well, we couldn't find it. We're looking, though. Anyway, that's not important.
It's not important, Master Roshi.
The sooner we get through this, trial, the closer we get to whatever that clown lady. which we have never played that one, so that one's entirely new to me. I only know it through memes.
Oh, dude, I can't wait to get to that because I've Man, I can't wait to play more Phoenix games after this.
The witness did see the steel samurai, yes. And it is clear that the person in the steel samurai suit was Mr. Power. That is not clear.
No,
That's exactly the problem.
That's
The pants.
The pants.
The pants. The pants.
I'm so mad about the
Slamming
pants.
on my bed frame. The pants. I
Uh,
suppose that's right. It's not.
no.
Objection.
Objection. Are you sure you're sure
Oh,
you're
we
on
do.
it?
Okay. I've been having a lot of moments like that. There needs to be like a term for it, but it's like sometimes movies and shows like they have a twist, and you're like, oh, that's wild. But sometimes it's satisfying when you're like, oh, you know, it'd be really funny, and then that thing happens, and you're like, oh, I called it because like it's predictable, but in a way that's that like it does something that you wanted to do because it's satisfying for that to happen. It's been happening a lot with the Stargate, where me and Travis will be watching it. I'll be like, oh, you know, it'd be funny, and then they're like, and it's like, oh, the twist, and you go, aha, I did it.
Owl House. Oh, Buddha, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to kick you. Come here, Buddha. Come here, sweet girl. You okay? I'm sorry. Buddha was under my chair, and I like straight up kicked her. One thing that Owl House taught me is that being predictable doesn't mean being bad, because if you can be predictable but tell your story in a way that makes people care, then
yeah.
it's still good. Like Belos's whole story and like connecting him to the guy in the journal, super obvious. All of the motivations and shit that went into it though, like holy shit. For having super predictable plot points, Owl House had a lot of twists and turns in its predictable plot points.
The funny thing is I remember learning this. I watched a series of like lectures from Brandon Sanderson, and he was talking about how when you set things up in your story, you set things up as a sort of like promise that you make to your reader, and when you have a twist, you want to make sure that the setup to the twist or the payoff for that twist is so satisfying that like the audience doesn't feel cheated, where they're like, oh, that makes sense, and you also build it up slightly in a way where you're like, oh, are they really going to this place? Oh, they're not, of course. You have to set up to it, and so it's possible for you to tell a story that's relatively straightforward, but is delivered really well, and it's also possible for you to add twists.
Yeah.
But if they're not properly set up, they feel unsatisfying. Where you're like, hold on, hey, hold on, didn't you just spend 3 hours trying to showcase that you could beat Thanos if you worked as a team, and then you kind of didn't.
Yeah.
You didn't win.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna have to buy another ticket. You're
uh,
gonna have to buy 2 tickets too late.
Too late. Stevenson
Careful with that
says, honestly, the whole season 2 is just like season 1, episode 2 in long form. I
don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either.
Wait, hold on.
I assume he's talking about Owl House, but I don't know. I thought season 2 as a whole was better than season 1. I did not like the first episode of Owl House, but I loved everything past that. I'm just saying, man, if I went into a room full of people who were in jail for being different and weird, and one of them was like a flat earther, I would probably just leave them there. Like,
no, that's the Lujak Lujak is surprisingly harsh on Nose Girl, who has a name, but I just remember her as Nose Girl.
She's just doing Bill Cipher shit like that. Reality is an illusion. The universe is a hologram. Buy gold. Buy. No.
I never trust. As I've said this before, that I never trust anyone who's buying or selling gold or I don't trust people who are buying, selling gold because like there's no reason why you would buy or sell gold unless you know that it's gonna be better to have money or to have gold later.
Right.
Unless you can like track it where it's like, oh, they bought up a bunch of like gold and then they need cash for something like right now, and that's why they're selling off their gold, so they need to get some other asset. But I never trust it when it's like, you should buy gold now. It's like, doesn't that mean you're selling gold now? Why would I trust Why would I buy gold from someone who's clearly wants to sell gold?
Stevenson says the episode is Witches Before Wizards. Okay, I gotta disagree with you if you think that that's just what season 2 is, but in long form. Because that episode was like, oh, here's a wizard. Turns out he's a douchebag. Okay, bye. Season 2 had like way more shit going on than that.
It still feels weird that like that Owl House and Amphibia were like running on TV around the same time and overlapped a bunch, and that like they're similar in a lot of like ways, but how like Amphibia was given time to breathe and then like didn't do much with that, whereas Owl House was like completely squashed into 2 seasons.
Right.
And like could barely fit all the plot in it.
Right. Stevenson says the wizard was exploiting Lucy's need for acceptance in fantasy. Oh! Okay. Yeah, that's valid.
I feel like that was an important early episode.
Kind of showcase Lucy's naivety and like.
But also the mechanics of the world, where it's like, oh, this is one of those like funky. I hesitate to say dark fantasy because dark fantasy is often just grimdark but with fantasy. Whereas
when I hear dark fantasy, I think of just Warhammer, where like everyone's racist and hates each other.
Dwarves be like, hate elves, hate humans, hate orcs, and then the ogres be like, I ate elves, I ate humans, I ate some orcs.
Witcher's like that too. You'll walk around town and you just hear everyone being like, "Oh, Witcher! Oh, good, the Witcher's here." One bitch straight up accuses you of like stealing children and turning them into Witchers. Like, what the fuck? No.
How did you invent a new type of racism?
Like, what do you?
But that's why I wouldn't say it's dark fantasy. It's what I don't have a shorter version of it, but my description of both Owl House and Amphibia's settings are comedically dangerous fantasy worlds. I think there was an article that described it vaguely as sweet weird, but I don't think that's quite right because that implies that it's part of the weird genre, but it's not.
Right.
It's more like it is fantasy, but danger. So it's sweet danger fantasy.
I believe that Owl House and Amphibia have the same human world, and I believe that like the Battle of the Frogs and the invasion happened after Luce and the gang got back to freaking the Boiling Isles, and therefore know nothing about the crazy invasion that happened from Amphibia realm. I'm also hoping that they decide to just stay in the Boiling Isles and therefore never become aware of the crazy frog shit that happened in the
There's
world.
a screenshot from a episode that I haven't gotten to yet that was supposed to be like a diagram of. Well, it looks like the 9 realms with a bunch of planets, and one of them is Earth, and it's like got a zigzag to show that it's like not connected to the main ley line.
What is going on with your mic right now, dude? Why is it all staticky? You still there? I think he's fixing his mic.
How about now?
Yeah, I hear you.
I think it was I was moving stuff around and it got static. Where is that? No, there was a editor put up that picture of the bunch of the worlds diagram in Amphibia. I figured that one of the worlds besides Earth and besides Amphibia was just the Owl House world. Because I wouldn't be surprised because they do all the references to each other.
Yeah.
And I really hope that's true, just because it helps Lujack and I's like theory. Well, Lujack came up with it first. He's like, I like to imagine that Earth is the same in these two different shows, and that they both got isekai to different realms that are part of a larger cosmology.
Yeah, just the idea that a whole multiverse exists and like different people can get isekai to different places. That's just a cool concept to me. Hold it right there! Oh, wait. Stevenson says Liz chooses to stay at the Boiling Isles because she believes it's the only place she can be feel loved, accepted, and understood. Yeah! Yeah, they do a very good job of illustrating that. Man, if I could fucking live in a magical world where people were less shitty and transphobia didn't exist, I'd fucking live there. Like, Belos is an evil piece of shit who's trying to do a whole genocide, but at least he's using Rain's proper pronouns.
Wait a minute.
Like, even the bad guys.
No, I need to sit down. Hold on. No, I'm gonna sit down. I wasn't ready for that. Lujack, that was too much wattage for my brain to handle.
That's the world we need to live in. One where, like, trans people are so accepted that people just don't think to dehumanize them anymore because it's stupid.
Alright, so I'm reading, let's see, Mountains
Stevenson says in season 3 Luce feels she doesn't deserve to stay because she caused so much pain and suffering to the Isles and was manipulated by Belos, paralleling the Witches before Wizards episode. Luce was manipulated by a higher power and felt it was her fault. Yeah, that's also true. Yes, that is also true.
Like that.
Look, I would love to continue talking about Owl House, but we have a game to play.
Yeah, we kind of do.
Hold it right there! But yeah, I fucking love Owl House. It's a great show. We keep talking possibilities, but we have to agree that this photo shows the Steel Samurai. Nowhere in this photo can we see Mr. Will Powers! Do-do-do-do-do-do!
My impression of an air horn, I think it's pretty good.
Shades like descend onto his face. And he's got like the hat that says 360 no scope on it.
I love those where like the comically over edited like oh I got a hit or whatever, I got a triple, and then like they add all of the special effects at the same time.
Yeah.
Like a wiggling Technicolor frog. There's like a bunch of other unrelated guns like peeking into the corners of the screen.
Yeah.
Editor just add all of that in at the same time.
Just have that like looping gif of people that are like ah, and then the one dude that just like walks by the camera holding his head like ah.
Dude, what if you took that gif and then slowed it down and then photoshopped it in the background of like the Left 4 Dead menu?
Yes.
So it does the same. Instead of the leg passing, it's the guy walking in front of the camera.
Just walking in front of the camera like ah.
Yeah, but the music is still just the Left 4 Dead music. It's just the background that's different. It's very unsettling.
Oh man. Steven says, oh, I know who did it. Wait, in Owl House or in Phoenix Wright? Because that line makes more sense in Phoenix Wright than it would in Owl House.
Also, you know who should hang out?
What?
The Collector and that one flat guy from...
Gladiator dude?
No, the Collector and Prismo from Adventure Time.
I could see that.
What if Prismo is just like what would happen if like the Collector was like a more collected,
yeah,
like a well-rounded individual? You know, I did some self-searching and I figured out, you know, I can be my own person and I'm not just dependent on others.
Yeah.
I can't quite do his accent, but.
Steven says for Phoenix Wright. Okay, cool. And oh my God, the Collector is like Bill Cipher. Yeah, Bill Cipher is like if the Collector went the opposite route of Prismo and just got more insane.
You know...
The Collector could either become a Prismo or he could become a Bill Cipher.
I can be your Angle or your Devil. You got a good point, though, that like, oh man, I didn't think of it that way. Especially, although, oddly enough, I don't think... They very seldom animate Bill Cipher. Like, he's supposed to be 2D, but they don't animate him the same way as like Prismo or Collector, where they are like shadows cast on surfaces, which I think is a really cool effect. It's one of my favorite things, is like higher dimensional beings that appear as lower dimensional beings.
Yeah.
That's
man, I love Prismo. He's one of my favorite characters. I want to hang out and smoke weed with Prismo.
don't let Prismo smoke weed. He does have reality bending powers.
Ah, dude, true. Your line.
The defense has a point. I also wonder if someone else not caught on camera could have killed someone else not caught on camera could have killed Mr. Hammer. Who framed Will Powers in the same font as Roger Rabbit?
Who framed Roger Powers?
Who framed Roger? It's just battle droids. Editor, put that in.
Your line.
We have to consider that possibility also. Then allow me to remove that doubt from your mind, Your Honor.
No, Edgeworth, you shut up.
Will the witness continue her testimony, please? No need to ask twice.
And the witness will continue her testimony on the next episode of Phoenix Wright.
You see, Lujack, there's no way that someone could have gotten past the front gate because they were hiring Peeps, the security system.
Ah, the Peeps Plus. It's just a giant eye following you
Peeps
around.
Infinity Plus.
Man,
or no, sorry, Jeepers Peepers X Infinity.
Jeepers Peepers X Infinity. But yeah, y'all should watch Regular Show too. Regular Show's also very good.
in proper doses. I feel like some shows can be binged, but like if you watch like 5 regular shows in a row, you'll be like, hey, wait a minute. This is too similar.
I binged Regular Show, and yeah, it was a weird experience, but like
I'm sorry about that.
I'm not, because I enjoyed it. Regular Show's very good.
But yeah, it's a fun show. But I would say maybe one season at a time.
Yeah.
You know, maybe 10 episodes at a time.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time. We will hopefully see you next Friday. 27th.
I've been Lujack.
I'm Taylor.
I'm reminding you to take care.
Stay awesome.
Go watch Regular Show and Owl House and Adventure Time. They're very good.
And Doom Patrol.
And Amphibia. And Amphibia. Wait, okay, hold on. Wait, before we go, I have to complain about DC's Titans real quick. Look, man, Starfire should be orange, Beast Boy should be green. Doom Patrol exists, there's no excuse. You're just lazy.
Okay, but can Starfire be like a really deep orange?
Yeah, she can be a really deep orange. That's fine.
I don't know, Black Starfire really was like just design-wise, that was really growing on me.
Look, she can be a dark orange. I don't care. Just make her look like a fucking alien.
Editor, just edit in. It's like with the color scheme of Starfire, but they're clearly just playing an elf in Skyrim.
I don't care when characters
their features are just a little too elfy.
Yeah.
It's kind of uncanny.
I don't care when characters get race swapped, but I do care when the clearly alien looking character does not look like an alien anymore. That bothers me. And the clearly mutated Beast Boy does not look like a mutated Beast Boy. Is Beast Boy Asian in DC's Titans? Was he Asian in the comics? He could have been Asian in the comics for all we know.
I don't know, and that is...
I don't know, and I honestly don't care. So
honestly, that also is growing on me. I like the concept of Asian Beast Boy.
A green Asian Beast Boy would be cool.
Oh yeah,
just
green,
make
right?
them look right out as whatever. Okay.
Why is he green? There's multiple reasons.
Also, that show ruined Red Hood. That show ruined Red Hood the way the Walking Dead show ruined Andrea. That's
a deep cut that someone will get, and I hope they comment.
And
they're
I'm
like,
happy for that
I
person.
read both of those, and I watched the shows, and I know what you mean.
Yeah, that one person's gonna be like, yeah, dude.
I cross-referenced it, I divided by the ratios, and I figured out that you are correct.
Anyway, bye!
Bye!